Okay, so I hope everyone can see this. So welcome to the session on 6 ways to get ahead of the social media curve in 2023. So I'm just going to kick off the session by talking through who I am and what I do. So like I said, my name is Emma and I'm the founder of a purpose-driven social media agency. I have a background in marketing, advertising, and an MBA as well. I currently also run one of the largest social media channels in the UK for Black women and young girls. So I'm super passionate about building authentic communities and really helping brands navigate the world of social in the most efficient and effective ways possible. And I also have over 12 years worth of digital knowledge and social media experience. So like I said, I am the founder of a purpose-driven agency, which is called Sijuwade. So our services kind of include things like strategies and working on campaign development, consulting, training, and much more. And we really just focus on making sure that our clients get the best out of social and really developing social media strategies that connect them with their target audience. So we're really committed to making sure that our clients are kind of educated in what we do and understand why we're doing what we're doing. So we've been kind of blessed and fortunate enough to work with a range of different brands and businesses and organizations within the church sphere and also outside of the church as well. So let's get into the session. This is going to be kind of a very, no fluff session, 6 practical ways and things you can actually implement from today into your social plans for 2023. So kicking it off, number 1, and this will always be our number 1, is to make sure that you have a social media strategy in place. In the words of kind of Benjamin Franklin, if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. So gone are those days where you could, if you are looking to grow a presence or build up your social media, build up your brand, on social media, you can't just post without a plan or an idea. So these are some of the areas that you're actually going to want to add and implement into your social media strategy. So kicking it off, obviously, with your brand's business and objectives, you have to have that at the center of your strategy. So for example, if your brand's objective is to grow your brand, your social media goal is then going to be like, right, we need to raise awareness. So you're going to use social media to raise awareness. And then the metrics you're going to use for that are obviously going to be looking at things like your followers. You're going to be looking at things like your shares. Another example is if you're looking, your brand's objective is to, obviously increase sales or grow conversions. Your social media objective is obviously going to be like, right, we need to convert. So then the metrics you're going to be tracking for conversions would be things like website clicks and email signups. You're then going to look at your target audience analysis. That is super crucial because obviously you need to know exactly who you're talking to, what it is they are like. So looking at things like the age of your target, the location where they are, their interests and pain points. Now, these are 2 crucial aspects of a target audience analysis because you need to understand what these things are because they're going to guide you in areas of content and relatability. Because obviously, if you're able to help your audience in the realm of pain points, they're going to actually become loyal customers or loyal, community members. So you're actually doing something for them in that sense. I'm going to go to the social media audit. So this is really basically looking at the current state of your social media presence. Obviously, if you are new, you'll be starting from fresh, so you wouldn't have as much things to look at, but an audit is super crucial. So you're going to look at, how often have we been posting on social? What times have we been posting? You're also going to look at things like your profile information. So, what is our handles? What are our URLs? You're also going to include your KPIs. So what is important to you? So is it like you're going to be tracking your reach? Are you going to be tracking your following, your engagement? You need to add that onto your audit as well. Then I'm also going to go to decide on your social media platform. So this one is very important as well because each social media platform is different. And I know a lot of people use all the social media platforms the same. So we post the same content across all 3. But the right way to do it is to really make sure that your customers feel a form, or, your community feel a form of FOMO. So if they feel like they're getting the same thing on Facebook than they are on Twitter, they're not going to follow you on both. So you really need to look at your social media platforms and see how you can use these platforms differently. So for example, you might dedicate Twitter just to customer service, whereas Instagram, they get a full kind of visuals of who you are. On TikTok, it could be, right, we're going to share videos of our behind the scenes. So you need to decide on your platforms and how you're going to use them. And then this is one of really the most important, and I think one of the ones that are the most forgotten, is actually doing a very brief competitor research analysis. So this is really looking at and identifying who your competitors are, looking at their socials, seeing what they're doing. So you start to collect data and you start to analyze, you look at their engagement, you look at their content, you look at their culture. And this is going to actually help you implement when you come up with a content strategy, because you can see what's working for them, ways that you can do things maybe better. So it's really important to look at how your competitors are kind of running and looking at their social media. Number 2 is to develop a content strategy. And this kind of sounds a bit kind of jargony, but it's really just developing a plan on how you're going to use content. So how you're going to use your video, your audio, your images, written form of content to achieve those social media goals that you've put in place. So the first thing I always tell everyone I work with to start with is to define your content pillars. So content pillars are your overall foundation of your social media strategy, for your content strategy. So this is really looking at, right, what are our content buckets? So is it we're using social media to inspire? We want to use social media to celebrate. We want to use social media to educate. I would really say stick between 2 and 3 content pillars. And then I'm going to tell you why. So once you've got your content pillars, so for example, let's take educate, we want to use social media, we want to use our content to educate people. You're then going to be able to generate content ideas. So if you want to educate, then you can come up with ideas like, right, we're going to create educational carousels. We're going to do helpful and educational long form content. We're going to be doing, how-tos. So when you come up with those general ideas, it then allows you to create multiple different forms of content ideas. So you can create loads of different topics on educational carousels. You can create loads of different how-tos. So once you've defined those content pillars, you then are able to kind of go through the next steps. And you really, if you do it that way, you never will run out of content ideas. Next is really to hone down on what is your reason, because I think your reason is the most important when it comes to those days when you just don't feel like creating content. So, but you need to always look back on your reason. So is it you're on these social media platforms and you're creating content? Is it to be a thought leader? Is it to network? Is it to build a community? Is it to reach a new and younger demographic? Those are very important when it comes to, your content strategy. Next is kind of working out your running themes. So you don't ever kind of detour. So for example, if you're a relationship coach, your running themes will look sort of like love or self-worth or conflict. So when you have a bunch of those, you can have up to 10. It kind of guides you in your content as well. Next is to make sure that you have a content calendar in place. So this is kind of, obviously you want to include the platforms, you want to include your captions and your post, you add your visuals, you add the dates and times and the types of content that you want to put out on social. So that is also very, very important. Then also, as part of obviously developing a content strategy, I just really want to go through something that I've kind of coined the RSVP rule. So this is really going to help you build community and create long-lasting content. I try to tell everyone I work with, if you can get 4 of these in your content, you're onto a winner, but it's fine if you're able to add 1 or 2 every time you post. So it's obviously R is relatable. Make sure that your content is relating to the people that you are talking to. So if you feel like your content isn't going to stir up any kind of emotion or anything like that, more than likely your audience is actually not going to engage with them. So you need to make sure that you're tailoring your content and matching it to what relates to them. S from the rule is shareable. So the way that you grow on social media these days is through sharing. People love to share things on their stories, whether it's entertaining content, informative content. People love to share things online with their friends and family. So when you're creating your content, think to yourself, is it something that my audience can share with their friends and their followers? It's something that I would want to share with my friends and followers. If you can't answer that question, I would definitely say go back to the drawing board, because shareable is free, it's free reach. Next of the rule is valuable. So valuable, your audience is only going to engage with content that is valuable to them. And you're going to be able to tell that through comments. You're going to be able to tell that through shares. You're going to be able to tell that through, interactions and engagement. So, there's loads of great ways to add value. That could be through informative, it could be something inspirational, it could be entertainment, it could be educational. Just always think, is this of value to my audience? And lastly is purposeful. I do think content needs to have a purpose in order for you to see growth. You can't just really post and ghost any longer. So definitely really think about the reason behind why, the thought process behind why you are posting what you're posting. Right, rule number 3, and one I didn't actually think I would be adding here in 2023, but here we are, is making sure on social media SEO is a top priority. So as of last year, TikTok has now become it's overtaken Google as the most popular website ever, which is incredible. It's insane because TikTok hasn't been out for long, and this is where social media is now where people are going to search for things. So if your social media platforms are not SEO friendly, it's not going to reach your desired audience. So obviously social SEO is including relevant information and keywords in your post, your bio, your captions, in alt text, subtitles, and closed captions. So that's what it is. So I've got 3 examples here of how you can do this in your Instagram bio. So as you can see here, you can see that community is highlighted because now Instagram is following suit with TikTok and is making sure SEO is one of their top priorities. Hashtags are still in, but they're kind of out, and now it's all about keywords, which I'll show you later. But this is basically what you need to focus on. As you can see here, the first one, Thy Kingdom Come, it is a prayer initiative. So anyone that's kind of searching for inspiration, that's searching for prayer, when they type this in, when they type those keywords in on Instagram, Thy Kingdom Come is going to pop up because we've included all the keywords in the bio, sorry. As you can see here with 27 prayer as well, people who are searching for prayer, for mission, for justice, that's going to come up. 24/7 prayer is going to come up as well. For Black girls who are searching for empowerment, education, confidence, culture, this page is also going to appear as well in their search. So make sure that you're including your keywords and important information that you want to, obviously, that relates to your brand, relates to your business. Make sure that you're including it in your bios. And that goes for TikTok and all other social media platforms as well. This is just some key examples of how SEO is taking over and why you need to make it a top priority in order to get ahead of the curve this year. So as you can see here in number 1, it tells you the most popular, this is Instagram, it's telling you the most popular keywords at the moment, what people are sharing. So without even having me to, search anything, they're already telling me that. I also, if you go to number 2, as you can see here at the top, you have fitness, motivation, roller skating. Instagram is already telling me the keywords they think that I'm interested in. So bear that in mind. Keywords are always popping up everywhere. Even when you're typing in, as you can see here, I've only typed in he, it's telling me, right, do you want to check out some healthy recipes? This is popular. So if I added healthy recipes in my bio or my content, I would be coming up in that search. And as you can see here, number 3, I've typed in social and it's telling me all the main searches that are happening when people type in social. So it's social media marketing, social media anxiety, social media manager. And it's also giving me all the accounts that have social media in their bio. So that's exactly proving my point. Make sure you are adding your keywords. And once you finally search what you're looking for, which is number 4, you're going to see they've got things like people's profiles, you've got audio that has social media, you've got tags, you've got places. So it's all kinds of things happening with that. And just the same example with TikTok, exactly the same here. You can see in one, they're telling you the things that they think I like, the keywords. When I type in social in number 2, it's giving me the same thing. So people who have social in their name, and the top search is for social. And especially on these platforms, you need to be using their tools because their tools pick up SEO. So making sure that you're using their captioning tools because that's also going to pick up SEO. Make sure you're using their covers, like as you can see in number 3, it's going to pick up the words you use from their covers. So just utilize the tools that they're giving you because everything is getting picked up by SEO. Number 4 is quality and value is more important than quantity. So if you want to get ahead of the curve in 2023, focus on quality and value over quantity. And you're going to do this through something I call the A1 strategy. So if your content, if you really feel your content isn't A1, it's not worth posting it because that means it's not the top of your game of content. People now just understand when people are posting for the sake of posting. And I think if you are going to only stick to a schedule of, 2 times a week, that's totally fine. But if your audience know they're going to get A1 content from you, you're going to be good. So when you do A1 content, make sure you're keeping your content evergreen because evergreen content is always going to be content that has value and your audience can come back to. But always revert back to your social media content calendar and strategy. And I just wanted to give you an example of one of the pages that I manage, I guess. In 2022, this page only created 58 posts, yet all the content on the post reached 15 million people. And so that's an average of, just above 1 post per week. The static content alone reached over 4 million people. So that's not including the reels. And this was all organic content. So it's just to prove to you that if you are going to stick to those 3 things, making sure your content is A1, it's evergreen, you're going to get the reach. And I can also say that this platform also grew by over 20,000 people in 2022, just with 58 posts. So it's something that's very, very important is to make sure that you're, prioritizing quality and value. It doesn't matter if you're only posting once or twice a week, but your content is going to be A1. Number 5 is really just utilizing free online courses and websites and content generators. There's so much great stuff out there that's going to actually help you be above the grain when it comes to content and developing your social ideas. So things like Meta Blueprint, and a super incredible, it's obviously by Facebook. It's a free course that's going to help you prepare your business. It's going to tell you how to write good, engaging posts, how to write good captions. And exactly same with Instagram. All these social media platforms have these resources out there that are completely free for you to learn. It's all out there and you don't even have to search it. And I usually tend to go directly to the source. So obviously if I'm looking for Facebook information, I will go to Facebook. If I'm looking for Instagram, I'll go to the Instagram blog. The same goes for Canva. If you don't know how to create content as well, head to Canva. Canva have a whole section called Canva Learn, where you can actually do short courses in how to make a logo, how to make a flyer, all these great things, and they're free. And it goes for TikTok as well. So there's so many tips and tricks on how to create shareable and really good TikToks as well. And then if you're not sure about, you're not sure about your content and how to generate these ideas, there's such great platforms out there, with the rise of AI, something like Copy AI will help you generate content ideas. They do have a free content idea generator. So you're just going to type what it is you're thinking, and they're going to come up with loads of different titles and things like that for you to kind of create content. And another fantastic platform is called Answer the Public. So if you want to know what people are talking about within your niche, within your realm, just type that in and it's going to show you all the questions that people are typing on Google. And then you can be the person to answer these questions for your audience through your content. So it's really, really great. And lastly, one of the most important ways to get ahead of the curve is to remember that yes, social media works, but it also works when you integrate it with other tools, because social media, your social media audience, your social media following doesn't belong to you. Your Facebook can be deleted, your Instagram can actually accidentally get deactivated, and you've lost your audience, you've lost your way of communicating with them. So it's always good to remember, right, how can we build up our own list that belongs to us and use social media to do that? So you can build up your email list by asking people to sign up to your newsletter. You can, collect phone numbers by maybe giving people a discount via text. You can collect addresses if you offer people a free book. Obviously, all of these things come with GDPR rules that you need to put in place, but it's super important to remember that, yes, social media is part of a larger funnel and it's best to integrate it with other things. So, sorry, that was very fast. There was a lot of information there, but thank you so much for listening. And I guess we'll look at questions. So let me see what questions, if there are any coming through.
I don't know if we have any questions, Emma.
Yeah.
What you shared was outstanding. And yeah, really, really informative, really, really helpful. All of those, I didn't even know, because I do use social media myself, but I didn't even know about the courses actually that the platforms offer. Never knew that. Really helpful.
Yeah, they're all free as well. So everything you need is definitely there. Yeah.
Great. And since the theme of the Stronger Conference is be bold and courageous, can you give us a wee starting point as to how to be bold and courageous on social media?
Yeah, definitely. So I think people tend to believe that social media is oversaturated and everyone is doing it. There's no space for me, but I'm being honest, there's no one like you and there's no one like your voice. So there's never been a better time to be on social. You just have to go for it and stop thinking about, but this person does it better than me. It's just try. When I first set up that platform, for Black women and Black girls, I never envisioned that it would be where it is today. And I look back on the content and I cringe because I'm like, this is so bad, but it's a journey and it's a process and you never know where it's going to take you. So if you allow doubt to kind of creep in, you're never going to be able to get where you want to get to. And, just go for it, just try it and be bold.
And any tips for any avoiding controversial posts or also dealing with sort of rejection online and social media and challenge and things like that, trolls?
Yeah, it's definitely hard. I think you do need a thick skin on social, if I'm being honest, because your content is not going to be for everyone. But I think when you revert back to your why and your reason, which is one of the main things that I said in the content strategy or the social strategy, that's going to power and push you on against the hate. And also there are great tools on Instagram you can use, like the hide tool or the block tool or the mute tool. So there are things in place on these platforms that can stop you from, seeing all this hate and negativity.
Great. Fantastic. And so people keeping in touch with you or following you, they want to follow, help me pronounce it, is it Sociabelle?
Yes, Sociabelle, yeah, Sociabelle. Yeah, so you can find us sociabelle.com and Sociabelle Media on Instagram and then Sociabelle on TikTok. And then obviously if you want to connect with me on LinkedIn, my name is Emma Sijuwade.